We're going to look at transforming resources now. So in the last video, we're looking at the transform resources of materials, information, and customers. Now we're going to focus on transforming resources, which are those inputs that carry out the actual transformation processes. And they are resources used in the production process that are used to transform other resources, but are not themselves part of the finished product. So they play a key part in turning that input into an output, but they're not actually part of the finished product themselves. And they're twofold. They are labour or human resources and facilities such as the plant, factory or the office in which the service is being delivered. So human resources it is said that employees are the single most important input into businesses because of their skill, their knowledge, their capabilities, and labour of people is applied to materials to convert them into goods and services. And in many cases, if it wasn't for human resources, that transformation or that transforming wouldn't actually be able to occur. Having said that, with artificial intelligence becoming more and more prominent, that's probably becoming less and less the case. Human resources combines with other resources to produce a good and service. And well-designed policies in respect to human resources, including job design, what is a particular task going to entail, the training of your staff, the communication that occurs between staff and management, and also the practices that are evident in an organisation can improve the overall operations process. So not only does human resources help to turn those inputs into outputs, it also tries to ensure that there's an improvement in the process because of the effective use of human resources. Facilities are the second transforming resource, and that includes things like plant, so the manufacturing plant, for example, and also machinery that's used in the operations process. Plant, we're talking about things, and the issues around plant can concern things like the location of that particular plant. Is it close to your other suppliers or key suppliers, or is it close to key customers? The zoning around that plant, so what other business activities are allowed to occur around that particular location? What are the energy and water requirements in that particular area, and is there access to that energy and water requirements close by? The design or process layout. So what is the actual process layout? How effective is the plant itself? Is it efficient? Is it effective? And also the number of facilities. With respect to machinery, that concerns things like the safety of that machinery, how efficient that machinery is, how productive that machinery is making that organisation, and how friendly is it in relation to the interaction with staff. Is it easy to operate? Or does it require lots of training? Is it dangerous? Those sorts of things. Just in respect to Qantas and materials and human resources, Qantas uses a large amount of materials for their processes. Fuel is their biggest one. I've mentioned in class that they spend about $3 billion a year on fuel, so that's a huge material and a huge input for Qantas. Another key input or material is the food ingredients, so the ingredients of the food that they serve on their planes. In relation to information, Qantas relies on significant information, so the aircraft monitoring process, aircraft communication systems, government statistics, and also other airline statistics to show the demand in that particular country, how many flights are they going to need to put on. Customers at Qantas, the information they get from their customers, and also the customer could be transformed because of their location and where they want to go to and from. Human resources are another key input. Their pilots, the engineers, the cabin crew, the ground crew, for example, and then facilities also. So their terminals here in Sydney and all around the world, really, be they terminals that they own or terminals that they lease.